My leadership is centered on youth empowerment, intellectual reflection, international solidarity, and community development as well. Brothers and sisters, as we are gathered in this room during this holy month of Ramadan, a lot is happening around us and beyond us. As we speak now, as the Islamic Republic of Iran is at war with the Zionist regime and the US imperialists. A lot is in the media, including propaganda and what have you. But we need to evaluate information on the internet. This is a war or battle between the truth and the wrong. But who is fighting for the truth and who is on the side of the wrong? It's unfortunate that some of us, we are supporting the wrong side, unfortunately, for different reasons, because of ignorance, because of lack of information, and you can mention. But the truth will stand, will remain the truth. So we have to support the right side of history than supporting the Zionists. You cannot say you are supporting the enemy of Islam and you are calling yourself a Muslim. If, for example, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon to him, was here today, which side would he support? Would he support the enemies of Islam or would he support the Muslims? That is a take home for all of us who are gathered in this room. Going back to the key elements of approach to leadership, as leaders, we have to focus on empowering our communities. Like I always emphasize that effective leadership requires motivating ourselves to have faith, as the Quran normally depends on it. They say that inna allazina amanu wa amilu. It's not always enough to have faith and you don't act. And this is what Iran is showing to us. That before 1979, when it got its revolution, then all the world politics were either to the east or west. You are either with us or against us. But Iran says that for us we can use the Holy Quran and bring another governance based on Islamic faith. That's why it's called the Islamic Republic of Iran. It's using the charter of the Medina governance, which the Holy Prophet, peace be upon to him, used in Medina. That is a copy. It's a copycat of what Prophet used to have in Medina when he started the first charter, the first Islamic governance, for your information. Being Islamic Republic of Iran or being in a Islamic governance doesn't mean that you don't have to value other faith. When Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon to him, was governing people, he didn't use to segregate because you are a Christian or you have what you're believing in. No. We all know that Islam spread to Africa, even to other worlds, because of not a sword. Prophet didn't use a sword or force to force people to enter into Islam. It was his exemplary characters that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls him that you are the best of characters. He treated other people very well. That's why people changed their faith. He changed their hearts and believed in Islam. That is the pure Islam. But as we speak today, we have another Islam. That is the Zionism Islam, where you find a Muslim preaching, the so-called sheikh, some so-called sheikhs preaching even in the mosques, supporting Israel and supporting America against Iran. But really? So if you find such people, just know where they belong. It's about getting information. Find a Muslim supporting Israel, supporting America, just know that is Zionism Islam. That's not the Islam the Holy Prophet left for us. No. It is never the Islam. It's something else. Brothers and sisters, as leaders, we have to focus on patriotism and selflessness. As I always encourage young people to be patriotic and selfless, preparing themselves for roles and responsibilities to avoid being misled by selfish interests. Then we have the value-based action, which is an Islamic perspective. Through different platforms like MSAU, the Muslim Students Association of Uganda, I'm happy that we have a sister representing the UNSA. I also happen to lead UNSA Luero Deck before. That was 2006 in my high school. Then at national level, I was the head of publicity before things went like this. I hope you have another strong UNSA like the one we used to have, where leadership was bloody. You know, when we entered into this multi-party appropriation, we have NRM, we had the FDC, and everyone wanted the top seat. So that's when things turned to be bloody, but we used to enjoy our UNSA. I hope you are leading the mantle. Talking about international solidarity, as you are aware, or as a youth diplomat, I always advocate for global solidarity issues such as the Palestinian cause or the rights of the oppressed nations and people around the world, encouraging peaceful resolutions and protection of national and global interests. For your information, my brothers and sisters gathered in this room, yesterday was the last Friday in this holy month of Ramadan, which the first supreme leader of Iran declared in 1979 to be a day for all Muslims around the world and peace-loving people to send their love, to show solidarity, to pray for their brothers and sisters who are under siege in Palestine, and or even other Muslims like the Rohingyas who are under siege for many years. In Uganda, we were in COVID lockdown, I think, for a couple of months. But these people have been under siege. Compare it to what happened in our lockdown in 2020. For them, they have been in that lockdown, not because of a pandemic, but because of the Zionist regime. They be locked, they take their land, they are massacred. Now, at least in the current years, that's when you've understood what was happening in Gaza, in Palestine, where schools were bombarded. This thing has happened there since 1948. But for you came to know in 2020, I think 2024, 25. But these people have been there for since 1948 up to now. Water, scarcity of water, but the neighboring Muslim countries are giving money to you, the Zionists and also America, to kill them. Now Iran is another country, and we are supporting the enemy. So we are challenged as Muslims. We are very challenged at this critical moment of time, but the truth stands. So it's up to you, but I'm here to advocate for sending prayers to all oppressed nations, including Palestine. This Iran Supreme Leader Imam Khomeini declared the last Friday during the holy month of Ramadan to be declared the International Qudus Day, where we can raise our hands and pray for our brothers and sisters who are suffering, who cannot sit like us who are gathered here. Bombs are everywhere. They are displaced, no homes, all buildings down, using the money of some Muslim countries, unfortunately. So we should pray for them, because as believers, our shield is to pray for, or it's a dua. We cannot get guns, we cannot have bombs to go and bomb them, but we can send our prayers to them, because they are our brothers and sisters. They are Muslims like us. Iran is a Shia-dominated country, but it has stood since 1979 to support the Sunni brothers in Palestine. People were like, you Iran, why don't you leave these Palestinians to die, and we leave sanctions from you? Then Iran said, we cannot. Those are our brothers. The one you usually say they are kafirs. If Palestinians were Shias, we would say maybe they are supporting their fellow Shias. But in Palestine, they are Sunnis. Can this wake us up? Why are the Shias supporting the Sunni brothers to the extent of even attacking them today? That is a take home. I'm speaking to scholars. For a scholar, you're just given a hint, then you go and make more research. I'm not issuing a decree. Yeah, because the Holy Prophet told us that seeking for knowledge is mandatory to every Muslim woman and man, to a female and male. And seeking for knowledge is upon to us from cradle to the grave. So in Islam, there is no graduation in knowledge. Even if you become a doctor, it's not enough. We need to carry on research and learn more. Don't listen to a certain sheikh saying rubbish and you call it that a decree. What does the Quran say? How about the sunnahs of the Holy Prophet? How about your intellectuality? Because whatever knowledge we have is not separate from what God predominantly created in our minds. If there is a tradition which says that killing one person is like killing an entire nation, and you say killing is halal, really? A Muslim? But at least not for you, the scholars who are here. So we appreciate MSAU leadership for always having such kind of engagements where our leaders are engaged to create insight. Africa has the youngest population in the world, with 70% of the Sub-Saharan Africa under the age of 30 years. And when I look around, I see most of you are under 30. There are few that are above. So such a high number of people, percentage, is an opportunity for the continent's growth. But if these new generations are fully empowered to realize their potential, that's when we should be grateful. Africa has produced very many professionals using the rich civilization, which is a key to Africa's sustainable development. Brothers and sisters, involving young people, especially you, the leaders, in the management of society is vital for economic growth, innovation, peace, and security. We are living in a global world. Whatever is happening in the Middle East is part of us. When we talk about oil, we are part and partial. The transportation of the commodities, the service, the goods involves fuel, use of fuel. I know none of us here stays in Kololo. We all moved from very far, so we use transport. So if those wars continue, that means we are also affected, directly or indirectly. So we should pray to see that peace prevail. It's time to engage you as leaders to create different spaces, and also create this kind of platforms. These platforms that we have, they are not usually beds of roses, but they are platforms where we have to better ourselves as leaders, and also leave a legacy to those that we lead. I know young people like you have a lot of potential, and through different collective power, that is the MSAU leadership, with the guidance of our patrons and different professionals, we can use this power to better ourselves. And I want to assure you that it's now time to build smarter and better through such kind of conversations as we shape resilience for the common good. We have a lot of work ahead of us, but we have to create meaningful connection which will shape the agenda as we create solutions for the bigger agenda. The president has been here telling you about networking. You know, we cannot work in seclusion. We need to work with different institutions, different professions, different organizations to realize the MSAU objectives. As leaders, we need to understand our cardinal duties and responsibilities, that if president is not around, could the work be left there? That we all need to see the president to be present, then we can do something? No. Every one of us here has a role. But do you know where you start from and where you end? Before we conflict, that's $1 million question that we should all ask ourselves. That whenever we are appreciating our roles as leaders, we need to know what is expected of us and what we should do when. Then also balancing. Since you are university students, you should also realize how you can balance your books and also the leadership roles, because this is a voluntary kind of activity where you don't earn money, where you don't have salaries, where you don't have wages, but you need to also appreciate. As leaders, we need to know that leadership is not about top-down decisions, but it's about caring for people we lead and also appreciate their dreams as well. As leaders, we are not always going to do things right. We are going to make mistakes here and there. We are even going to make decisions that lead to failures. We need to learn from those mistakes and continue to take other risks. No one else in the world has the same strength you do, because God created us differently, with different talents and potentials. You should also be reminded that titles don't make you a leader, but impact does. As you leave that kind of leadership position you enjoy today, think about the impact you are going to create. Which legacy are you going to leave to the predecessors? Which impact are you going to leave to the community where you are serving? That's really a very $1,000,000 question to one of us. Without taking a lot of time, allow me to end here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.